Hello and welcome. Iranian leader, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has offered a statement claiming victory over the Zionist regime and responding to President Donald Trump's call for surrender. In a video, he says it's a joke that Iran could never surrender its nuclear enrichment. But Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's term of ending the war, including Hamas leaders leaving Gaza, would mount to total defeat, and Hamas would never surrender. The war in Gaza has taken place more than 20 months, but Israel and Iran only 12 days. Welcome. This is G&I News Update, and I'm Veronica Limo. Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei is higher political and religious authority in Iran. It's a commander-in-chief, head of state, and oversees of the judiciary, media, military, and the key counselors. He has offered a statement saying that Iran would never surrender to the United States of America, refusing to back down. Torn in his first remarks since a ceasefire with Israel, Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei claimed victory after 12 days of war, culminating in an Iranian attack on the largest U.S. military base in the Middle East, in Qatar, after the U.S. joined the Israel assaults. The U.S. President Donald Trump unveiled the truth and made it clear that Americans won't be satisfied with anything less than surrender. Such an event will never happen. Khamenei's remarks come 2 days after the ceasefire halted the war between Iran and Israel, the first deadliest and most destructive confrontation, and mark his first public appearance since June 19. The speech also came amid conflicting accounts in the U.S. over the extent of the damage inflicted by the U.S. strikes on the key Iranian nuclear sites at Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan during the conflict. USA President Donald J. Trump said the strikes obliterated the nuclear facilities. But Khamenei said Trump had exaggerated the impact of that attacks and said the U.S. gained nothing from this war, claiming the U.S. strikes did nothing significant to Iran's nuclear facilities, that is in Fordo, Isfahan, and Natanz. The Islamic Republic won and in retaliation dealt a severe slap to the face of America, he said, a reference to Iranian missiles attack targeting the U.S. airbase in Qatar, which caused no casualties. Khamenei also focused on the country's armed forces to offer them congratulations and counter the claim around the world and in Iran that the army has received a huge blows of the Israel's attack. While Iranians who fled Tehran during the conflict are coming back in the city, there is a common anxiety among Iranian people here as well, because they believe this was only the first wave of the war. Many are questioning the efficiency of the Iran's air defense system and feel that Iran could be more vulnerable to a potential future attack from US and Israel. Also, Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said that Iranian army successfully targeted the military and non-military positions and caused extensive damage in Israel, and added that if Israel attacks us again, they will see the further destructions. Khamenei said that the country's nuclear programs remain largely in place, contrary to US statement. Most of the sites are still in place, and that Iran is going to continue its nuclear program. Both Iran and Israel have claimed victory in 12-day war, with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hailing on Tuesday a historic victory of Israel. The Israel strike on Iran killed at least 627 civilians. Tehran's health ministry said that while official figures indicate Iran's attack on Israel killed 28 people. A state funeral will be held on Saturday in Tehran for top commanders and nuclear scientists killed in the war. As the war in Iran and Israel is over, but the war between Gaza and Israel is ongoing. More than 20 months so far. Palestinian in Gaza City has extended frustration that Israel war has dragged on for near 2 years, while the conflict between Israel and Iran lasted only for 12 days before a ceasefire. They say they used to live in tents, but right now even tents are gone, and they're living in sufferings there. The war between Israel and Iran ended in less than 2 weeks, and they have been fighting almost for 2 years. So back to war in Gaza. They have been suffering for 2 years from horrors, destructions, and injured people. What do Israel has left for them? Nothing. There is no houses, no trees, no rocks, no human left. Everything have been destroyed. Hamas fighters are operating under orders to hold out as long as possible. But the Islamist group is struggling to maintain its grips as Israel openly backs tribes opposing it. With a humanitarian crisis in Gaza, identifying international pressure for the ceasefire, Hamas badly need a pause in the fightings. Not only a ceasefire would offer respite to weary Gazans who are growing increasingly critical of Hamas, but it would also allow the Islamist group to crush largest elements, including some clans and looters who have been stealing aid. To counter the immediate threat, Hamas has sent some of its troop fighters to kill one rebellious leader, Yasser Abu Shabab, but not so far. He remains beyond their reach in the Rafah area held by Israel troops. Hamas is still capable of landing blows. It killed 7 Israel soldiers in an attack in southern Gaza on Tuesday. But 3 diplomats in the Middle East say that the intelligence assessment shows that it had lost its centralized command and control and was reduced to limited surprise attacks. Estimated Israel has killed at least 20,000 or more Hamas fighters and destroyed or rendered unstable hundreds of miles under the coastal strip. Much of Gaza have been turned to rubble in 20 months of conflicts. The average of the age of Hamas fighters was getting lower by day. Hamas is recruiting from hundreds to thousands of young men living in poverty, without work and uprooted from their homes. Hamas does not disclose how many of its fighters have died. They're hiding because they're being instantly hit by the planes. But they appear here, and they are organizing crowds of people waiting in the front of the bakeries, protecting aid trucks or punishing criminals. They're not like before the war, but they exist. Senior Hamas officer Sami Abu Zuhri said the group was working for an agreement to end the war with Israel, but surrendering is not an option. Hamas remained committed to negotiations and was ready to release all prisoners at once. He said, referring to Israel hostages, but it wanted the killing to stop and Israel to withdraw. But now it doesn't look good. Not at all. Hamas is a shadow of a group that attacked Israel in 2023, killing 1,200 people and taking others to 253 hostages. According to Israel tallies, Israel's offensive has killed more than 56,000 people according to Gaza health authorities. The damage afflicted by Israel is not like anything Hamas have suffered since its reaction with the most of its top military commanders in Gaza. Hamas was founded in 1987. Hamas has gradually established itself as main rival of the Fatah faction led by President Mohammed Abbas, and finally seized Gaza from his control in 2007 with a US brokered truce, and now it is facing war. US ended the war between Israel and Iran that was holding tension. has switched back to the possibility of a Gaza deal that might end the conflict and release the remaining hostages. It would welcome a truce, even for a couple of months, to confront the local clans that are gaining influence. But Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's term for ending the war, including Hamas leaders leaving Gaza, would mount to total defeat, and Hamas will never surrender. All Hamas need is a deal, but not to surrender. This is GNI News Update. Kindly don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you for having us. This is GNI News Update, and I remain Veronica Limo.